Hello and welcome to Chapter 9. Chapter 9 is all about assemblies. In particular, I've put together one assembly that covers a lot of different areas just for this chapter. Take a minute and let's open the motorcycle assembly in your Infinite Skills folder for Chapter 9. There's a folder inside the Chapter 9 folder called Motorcycle, and when you get there, use this button on the Open dialog. This filters top-level assemblies. Unfortunately, it doesn't work 100% since it seems to be finding 4 top-level assemblies when there's really just one. But in any case, it simplifies the task of finding the very top-level assembly within a folder. So open the motorcycle assembly with me. The assembly environment is pretty much like the part environment, but there are some additional items that you need to learn about. First of all, remember that the interface is different for each environment: parts, assemblies, and drawings. And you'll remember that in the parts interface, we had a sketch toolbar on the right-hand side. Because we haven't customized the assembly environment yet, the sketch toolbar is not here in the assembly. But in the assembly, we'll have less reason to use the sketch toolbar, so we won't put it up there until we're sure that we're going to need it. Assembly also has a feature manager area, but instead of just displaying individual features within a part, the feature manager displays parts and subassemblies. Each one of these parts is located with respect to the rest of the parts via geometrical mates. Mates work very much like sketch relationships, except they work on 3D geometry. So we'll have coincident and concentric mates. We'll have mates called in place, which we'll learn about a little later, angle mates, parallel mates, distance mates, tangent mates, and so on. You can also have sketches set up directly in the assembly, as well as assembly features, such as mirroring and patterning components. Assembly cuts are also available. One of the first things that you need to do while setting up assemblies is to create a template. This is no different than what we've done for parts and assemblies. Let's start a blank assembly file from which we can create a new template. If we hit the New drop-down, click on the New icon, and in the new SOLIDWORKS document window, select the Infinite Skills Assembly template. This starts up a brand new SOLIDWORKS assembly, but we can customize it and save it back out the way we want to. First of all, when this Begin Assembly dialog comes up, I do not want to start this command when a new assembly is created. This is one of the interfaces for inserting new parts. It just turns out to be, in my estimation, the most difficult to use interface. So again, all of the options for assemblies are put together in Tools, Options, and Document Properties. Again, it's important to understand the difference between ANSI and ISO, and also it's important to set your units. Typically, it's a good practice to have assemblies and parts that use the same units. It can lead to some confusion if you're editing an inch part in a metric assembly. You will find mixed units when editing that particular part in the context of the assembly. One of the settings you might want to take a look at in particular is under the image quality. If this is set very low and the Apply to All Reference Parts documents is turned on, then you may have difficulty every time you switch back and forth between the assembly and the part. I like to set it up high and turn that setting on so that each one of my parts also has a very high resolution. I've got a good graphics card in my computer, so I can get away with that. If you do not have a good graphics card in your computer, you'd want to set this slider a little further down. Again, experimentation will probably yield the best results for this sort of thing. Most of the settings under annotations and dimensions are the same that we've seen in both parts and drawings previously, but they may have less relevance here within the context of the assembly. So getting the settings set up is part of the plan. Getting the planes named will be part of it as well. So I want to rename front XY, right YZ, and top XZ. Just so you know, what I'm doing here to change the view is clicking on the axis. Every time I click on an axis, that axis points directly toward me. And that's just a quick way to access view changes within an assembly. You can also change some settings in the View Display menu, things such as tangent edges as phantom, which is a setting I like to use, and use component color in hidden line removed, hidden line visible mode, draft quality, and the display style that you like to use as well. Also, you can save the default visibility on all of these items within the menu. Once you get everything set the way you like it, let's end up with Control-1 to bring us around to a front view. Go to File, Save As, set this to Save As Assembly Template, and the extension for assembly templates is ASMDOT. SOLIDWORKS will automatically deposit you in the template folder that you've set up specifically for templates. And I'm going to rename this one as Infinite Skills Assembly Template. And I'll put it in the Infinite Skills folder. I'll close out of the blank assembly. Mates are also shown underneath each component in the Feature Manager area. Any mate that touches a part is listed in the mates folder for that particular component. Notice that we have 3 subassemblies within the top level assembly. The first subassembly is the frame, and notice that it has a different symbol in front of it than the motorcycle rear wheel assembly. The frame assembly is what's known as a flexible subassembly, which means that it's allowed to move within the upper level assembly. So I can grab this arm and move the rear wheel with respect to the rest of the assembly. The other flexible subassembly is the front fork. So with the motorcycle fork, I could grab a portion of the front wheel and activate the fork subassembly. The entire fork also moves if I were to move the fork blade. We will talk about motion within assemblies in a later lesson. Assemblies also have several different tools that are available for analysis, verification, visualization, and checking. Some of the express products that are found at the top of the tools menu are free versions of products that offer a stripped-down version of a higher-end product. Sustainability Express, for example, can help you identify carbon footprint of parts. Flow Express will help you do a flow analysis in or around components. Simulation Express allows you to do simple stress analysis. And DriveWorks Express can perform knowledge-based engineering and act as a product configurator. There are other tools such as Design Checker that will check a design against several rules that you can put together. And then familiar tools such as Measure, Mass Properties, and Section Properties. Assembly visualization can help you see the assembly based on certain traits such as size or custom properties. The Assembly Expert is a tool that checks various aspects of your assembly and makes suggestions on how you might improve. It also gives you some statistics about your assembly that you can use to compare against other assemblies or possibly to troubleshoot a performance problem. Additional tools such as interference detection, clearance verification, and hole alignment will allow you to make sure that parts are fitting properly. Large assembly mode is a set of settings that allows you to work more efficiently with large or complex assemblies. We will take a look at each of these tools in detail in a later lesson within this chapter.